Yeah. So that's now we are live, and let us go with those who are wanting to ask question. If you are uh, going live or coming video, I will put your video also added to it. Otherwise, you can unmute and ask your questions. Yes, let us start with the first three have given their names. Let us see. Let us hear them first. Yes, Anil Kumar, you can unmute and ask your question, and we'll see what the answers we can give.
Yeah, good evening, sir, and thank you very much for organizing this session. In fact, I would say I was looking forward for this for a long time, an opportunity to interact with you in a formal way and ask questions.
Yeah.
So thanks, and we have also very good participation with a lot of seniors joining in. So I have 5 questions. I don't know if that will be okay to accommodate so
No
many.
problem, no problem. It's your day. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you can give me the share screen permission. I'll show it on the screen so that it becomes easy to read and also answer.
Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I can stop your screen sharing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no problems.
Yeah. So these are my 5 questions.
Right.
Like the first question is, this is one thing been troubling me a lot. Leaders,
Yeah.
are they born or made or both? For example, seeing a child's GBP report, can we say the person will become a leader or a top achiever? Leader in the sense it can be anything. It can be corporate or political or anything, entrepreneur, anything. I'm talking in general. On the other side, if you see a top achiever, if I give you a report of a CEO, will it look distinctly from what my report is or some other report is? Or there is nothing like that? Any report can become anything based on nurturing. So this is my first question.
Yeah, we'll take up one by one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good question. I have answered this in some other forum or some other session also. Uh, Life is never one word question or one word answer. There are at least more than one answers are there. That's the number one. This has been indirectly the debate that is going on whether nature is what we are nature or we are nurture. Whether the achievements that we go through our life is something which comes by nature to us, naturally to us, or we are being nurtured to made, and that's what your question is we are inborn or we are made. I think this is a very interesting question. It is going to be a debate for the rest of the human life. That as long as human beings are there, this is going to be a debate because there is no one answer, or there is no one clear cut, we can say. It is a very, very continuum. It can be 51% nature for someone, it can be 99% nature for someone, it can be 0% or 1% nature. So it's varying between one end extreme to the other extreme. Let us not put a number because Indians are a bit addicted to these numbers. And yesterday it was a very interesting observation that because the Indians are more temporal in nature. We all know left temporal is about numbers, alphanumerics. We always discuss about numbers only. Without numbers, we cannot majority, minority, why there is a duality, why this many people are in this year. So we always got obsessed with the numbers, and that's coming from our temporal lobe as well. And coming to this question, um, it is neither, or we can say both. It's all depend on how you want to put across. And now you are given an example also. I think if you recall the components of the ikigai, okay, the life purpose or goals that we want to desires getting fulfilled. That's what I would call it as. Every human being is coming to this planet with some desire. That desire has to get achieved. That's what we call self-realization or self-actualization, to be very common for both men and women. To achieve that self-actualization, which is in Japanese called a kind of flow state in which you are feeling very light, very joyful about life. The life doesn't look like a troubling one. It is all like you eagerly look forward to the life and its how it unfolds and all. Like animals, they get up early in the morning. Human beings also should do that, but we are not doing it because something else is pushing us towards delaying our interaction and facing the life. Okay, because we are against the nature. So what I would like to say is, it is very different for everyone. For example, for you, the inborn may be 60%, and for me, the inborn may be 40%. So it is varying, and it is varying to the individual. The frustration, the challenge, the confusion comes because people are talking as if it is a rule for everyone. Okay, suppose if I am born in a poor village and probably do a lot of hard work and I become something, I think it is because of my hard work I have achieved it. But the same person in the later part of the life will say, no, 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 I have not done much. I think everybody around me did it, and God helped me, and nature helped me, the environment helped me. Then they attribute it to the people around and kind of thing. That means we, as an individual, we have a different thought process when it comes to whether it is inborn or made. Okay, and of course it depends on the personality, it depends on the energy that you have, it depends on the choices that you make. Ultimately it has to become performance. So there is a goal, there is a purpose, and there is a performance. Now the goal is set that you have every tools and resources to achieve it, but the performance is not coming. That means it will remain as, it is not made. Okay, it is not made, it is nature. So it will depend upon how much efforts you are putting to get into the goal, or to get into that flow state and get into the achievements, whatever that your potentials are. So when the potential is experienced, then we call it as, when we can call it as gift also, we can call it as my hard work also. But depending upon your personality, you tend to read that information, that achievement, in a different way. So I would say it is variable. It is variable to a personal level. It is variable. Same person might one day feel it is all my hard work. Maybe after some time, when something is not happening in the way he wants, then he might say, it's all I dedicate to the God Almighty. I am no one. That is how we when we are approaching our end of our life, what, like say I say, in our genetic quotients, when spiritual quotient becomes the predominant component in our life, then we say, I am just an instrument, I am just a messenger, I have not, it is not, I can't do anything, I am just one person, I am the speck of the dust, I am just nowhere, and what have I done is just a peanut and drop in the ocean. All that process will come to everyone, but for someone it might come in the ICU, and somebody it might come in while they are living in their, what you say, teenage life or the adulthood life also. So it depends on the individual's mindset, number one. Number two, it also varies from person to person. And number three, it also, the situations also contribute towards whether what others are telling and you take it in your head like that. For example, most of the people will say, you have done a great job, you have done a great job. Now I start thinking that the job has been done by me a great, so it is made by me. Okay. I may not really give importance and value and kind of contribution share to the nature also. I think many people, because they don't know what they have come with, they think it is they have made it. Okay, so it is very important. Genetic brain profiling will tell you that you have. Now, whether you achieve it or not, what are the difficulties that are coming in between is something that makes you feel whether you are made, or whatever you have made, how much of experience of that making, self making, is actually giving to you. That's ultimately will determine the life experience and the person's emotionally gratifying, satisfaction, all that will come. Now, coming to your question, part of the second part of the question, will become a leader when you say looking at the GDP. Yes, definitely we can say. Whether the person will become or not will be his destiny decided by the planets as well. We are only talking about the possibilities. For example, can you say 100% of the Apple phones will not have any problem throughout the lifetime? You can't say. Every phone is made in a similar way, but ultimately you are the person who is using the phone. Now your carelessness, your in ignorance, your shortcoming can also result into the phone not really giving its maximum output. So similarly, the manufacturing defect may be there, may not be there. The perfectly all right, quality control tested, Six Sigma, certified. All that is ensuring that the product is meeting the standards. But ultimately, there is a user and his knowledge and his handling also matters. No, okay, how it was achieved. The phone was bought or gifted by someone, and like that, because of that, also some of the utility value of the phone can be varying. So I would say the potentials are telling, or the genetic brain profiling is telling, this person can achieve easily, or this person can achieve with a lot of hard work. Okay, and please remember some of the qualities like he will become rich and all. It's a very complex and variable. There is a lot of contextual misunderstanding can come. But when you are able to do certain tasks reasonably well, that means you have an inbuilt ability and you have nurtured it. So I will try. I'll try to keep it as 50%, contribution by the genetic material, and say 50% by it, just for simple statement, because we cannot give importance to anyone. But that 50% of nature or nurture has so many complex statements which are inbuilt, which cannot be explained without better understanding of genetic brain profiling report. And similarly, if we say any top achiever, GBP, will it have something distinct? 100%. 100%. At least the talents that we are coming definitely has a lot of, indicators. Okay, I would say the multiple intelligences would definitely have got imbibed or got expressed for everyone. Maybe not the fullest extent, but definitely comparatively. For example, if somebody is not putting any hard work, even then the strongest multiple intelligence will definitely get expressed to a lesser extent. So it's all how much we are able to extract from the genetic ability. But when it comes to the personality, you have to be a little more careful, because the personality determines how much the guidance will improve or will go against it. Okay, that's also very important. For example, somebody who is 100% cognitive, but the environments were not given to them to that level. For example, they are born in a small village where a lot of cultural controls and family restrictions and social compulsions are there. Now the person, you see the GBP report, now you will say that this person has a lot of ability to perform, and that might not happen because of the opportunities are there. That is why the 50%, I want to keep that as, even for that person, there is a 50% possibility that the made, whatever is inborn, may not get. And even for making on their own also, there will be a limitation because in environment. So it's a very complex, simple question to ask, but a very complex, answer is there. And I would personally say, with experience, the look of the report, you can say this person has lived, could have lived to the fullest extent, provided these opportunities were given. So always for adults, you have to ask what kind of an environment they had during their childhood. It is very important, number one. Suppose for children, you have to tell one, what is a condition. or one added statement. Provided you give the right environment, this child will groom into a performer, an achiever, an entrepreneur. All that will come. Definitely for them also, the environment is very important. Otherwise, even then they achieve something, but that would be less than their potential. Okay, so to have the fullest potential, it is very important. And number two, one more point I want to add, and then probably we can take anybody else has any inputs to that is, for example, we know the left brain is sun, sun. Okay, hot, very energetic, always wanting to achieve. Aggression will be there. And the right brain is about like a moon. Okay, very quiet, very cool, don't want to really push themselves, project them. They don't project themselves. Now the potential may be there because they are right brainers. The potential may not get expressed. Okay, it will need some push by someone, somebody nominating as a president or a CEO, and then they work on it and they will later prove. So you might need somebody to put you on the top of the pedestal. Once you know the abilities there, you put them on the pedestal. Definitely, they'll be able to show also. So you can. That is why I say nurturing is a very great opportunity. You should take it as a challenge and demonstrate to them. Uh, to whatever extent that you are able to contribute, you should. Then that is how you get the confidence. Now nowadays, I should say, having seen thousands of scans, I personally think that genetic brain profiling, you tell it and find out a way to prove it. That's what I'll say. Okay, that much confidence you should get. But most of the time, I know somebody who is just done 20 scans, their counseling, and somebody has done more than 1,000 scans, their counseling will not be the same. Okay, the confidence level will be something which is phenomenally strong for those who have who do more scans and all. That is why we continue to insist on minimum scan, something you have to do. See, it is like this, because all of you are adults. I'll tell you, it is like the sexual urge. The more you indulge in, more interest will be there to perform. The less you go away from it, you will, and one day you will lose the interest to really look into a female or really look forward for a physical relationship. This is something similar to that. That is why I continue to insist on keep engaged and keep doing something. Forget about how much money you make, but every person will give you some lessons. I must tell you, 2 days back, one couple came to me, referred by one of the psychiatrists whom I am already knowing. So they took the name of the psychiatrist and they came to me. They did counseling. They said they will pay by Google Pay. I said, okay, no problem, because I felt that that's not a big issue. He went off. He did not pay money. Okay, no problems. What is that? I have spent my 2 hours of time, but the learning from that counseling is what is I am that's my benefit. I may not monetarily got any benefit, but neurologically I got a benefit of having seen a couple, and I understand they are having some difficulty in their life. Their relationships are already in trouble. Very small child, they have a lot of difficulty. The wife is not really a great material for mothering, so he is already going through a lot of pain and suffering. And I said it that maybe he must have felt very bad about that his life isn't really looking very comfortable as he was thinking. And probably he might come back one day. It will come, it may not come, doesn't matter. I don't look forward for it. And also, out of 1,000 scans, this is the second customer who has not paid, and this person still I am not concluding. Maybe if it doesn't come, doesn't matter. My 2 hours of time, I have done a social service. That's how I will look at it. That's how one has to build the competency and then go through the learning. I hope I have given an answer to this question. If you wish that you can, anyone else in the audience want to say something? This achiever, born or made. One more point I must tell, because many of us are getting fascinated with very small kids performances and all, they are all continuing their previous birth. In my opinion, it's a proof that they are all, the life isn't one time, the life is cycle, it is continuing, and this birth is one of the sessions that we are going through. And probably they are those souls who wanted to achieve some lot things in their previous birth. It did not happen, and probably they are taking a birth again here, and they are displaying. We need not get over, I would say, over enthusiastically judging about certain things and feeling very bad about our own children. I think that's where most of the parents are conditioning has not been really very optimistic. Conditioning has not taken place. If a child is performing, that's all. We don't know what is the difficulty that the child is going through other than this particular domain. It is ultimately many a children, you must have seen 2 days back, one 2-year-old child was presented in the social media, and he was asked all the questions in the capitals of the planet, and he was every country, small, big, he was able to tell the name. But that is not everything in life. That is just one aspect of IQ part of it, or maybe the subconscious memory, or the long-term memory, or maybe the mother was studying for IAS exam for last 5 years, and during the time the baby is born. Now you tell me what the mother must have learned in the 5 years of IAS preparation. Only geography, no, maybe history. So geographic history, if the mother is learning for 5 years, naturally the child is more likely to get that knowledge mother is learned also. So it is not that something we can consider it as too much glorifiable. So little bit caution on the prodigies. And genetic brain profile report for the child would say the long-term memory is very good. Okay, and the mother's learning has gone to the child. It's a bonus. And like many people have done it, if you hear music during the pregnancy, after the delivery, the music is put in, the child will sleep. So all these are subconscious programs. I think Anandi will be a right person to talk about how much this impact we can bring on the during the pregnancy. But I am a strong believer that we can design a child. We can design a child. Okay, we can design the child that everybody would love to have. We can design. It is not impossible, but it requires a lot of persuasion and reconditioning of our thought process. But it is possible theoretically, at least I would say. Yes, Anil. The second question, interpreting 8-page report, we will be doing in next session. 1-2 hour session we have allocated for it, so we will not take up that now. And session on how earning potential with GBP, Aviskar Anil, I think he gave a session. In fact, he said, I think 8 lakhs turnover is what something he said. I think he's there. I would like him to just share some maybe short what he wanted to achieve and what did he achieve and what were the difficulties, reasons, if at all anything is there to that he has learned in this year. Yes, Anil, if you are comfortable, you can go ahead. Unmute.
Yeah, actually, I missed the earlier session, so if we can repeat that in one of the weekends, that would be good.
No. What happened is the previous session was done for specific members who wanted. It was a Zoom session. I don't know whether it was recorded or not, but I just heard that he had said some number, and he said how to achieve them. He had shown mathematically how this figure is achievable. I think he will be the right person to just give the gist of what he wanted to do and what he has done. Yes, Anil, are you there? He was there. I think he is not seen now. Okay, the beginning he was there. It looks like he has left. Yeah, just put the PPT again and let me see. Yeah, Aviskar Anil is there. I don't know. Maybe he is not able to speak. Anil, are you there?
Sir? Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, are you comfortable speaking? Or you will speak in next?
I'll speak in next, sir. But any doubts is there now?
No. He wanted a session on how earning potential with GBP, Aviskar, Anil. Yeah, you put your question, Junior Anil.
Yeah, like I heard you had given a session. Just want a repeat session if whenever time permits for you on what are the earning potential, how we can promote GBP, reach to more people, and what are the earning type of earnings we can have from GBP, how much we can aim for, all those things. Would like to make it as an income earning opportunity in addition to transforming people. So I want some inputs on that.
I think what we can do is in 2022, he gave a session. Maybe we can request him after the next program or maybe during the next program. Maybe after that will be good because so that many people can participate. After that, we will put a session on how to earn joyfully, how to make money joyfully with genetic brain profiling. We can request him for a session so that like in a Sunday, we can meet and probably let us set a goal and he will set a goal for himself. Let us see how many of you get inspired by his goal setting and his thought process and do it for yourself as well. Yeah, that's something we can do. Yeah, that will be a good idea.
Yeah, the next one, if you are covering in the 26th meeting, you can skip that. How can we see MiDNA in 2025 or 26 or whatever is the plan? Because this growth would also decide our growth, because we'll be also traveling with MiDNA. So if you can skip this, if you are covering during the annual meet. And the last one is a request from my side, a session on Ikigai, one Sunday session, if we can plan to have a session on how to find the Ikigai.
Yes, we can do that. Yeah, that we will do, not a problem. MiDNA in 2025, I personally see we should take 1 month at a time and 1 year at a time and just go through it. Do every day homework very well. That is what will become in 25. All said and done, the plans and the goals are not going to really, happen on its own. So I would say every day's contribution towards your personal growth and the work that you are doing are interlinked. So learning and earning. If you continue to do that effort on a daily basis, either if you are doing only learning, no earning is happening, but the continuous learning will bring some earning one day or the other. Okay, number one. Number two, let us go through it. Present, our current status is because of whatever we have done before. That is how I look into life. If I am enjoying, I'm very happy with my current status of my life. That means I have been enjoying whatever I have done in the last 10 years and 15 years. So my 1 cent will be enjoy doing going through this opportunity of genetic brain profiling on a very minuscule. Also, it is all right. Okay, I would say in a day, 10 minutes if you spend for genetic brain profiling awareness creation, even that will give you some result. But having big goals and doing only 10 minutes contribution will not really matter. So there are two ways to do it. One is you continue to do happily. I think goals will be achieved. Or you set some goals and you go through it. But for both, again, it will depend upon our brain design only. Okay, it is not something you can inculcate in everyone. So again, that made or born is the kind of thought process. But I personally think it is the life that Pareto's principle of 20 and 80 is always going to be there. Okay, the 20% people will contribute to the 80% of the outcome, and vice versa also will happen. For me, it is not that numbers that are very important. For me, that engagement of enjoying the process of learning and earning is very important. That is why I continue to believe minimum 10 scans. If you don't do it in a year, it is better you give up and do something else because it is not justified. Neither you are learning nor you are earning. Maybe one day you will give up on it. So better you make a decision. Okay, this is good. I must do in my life. Allocate at least 20%, 20 scans in a year you keep as a target so that at least 10 you do it. Okay, and then how many you can do it. I think 354 is the score that Anil Senior has done this year. It is phenomenal. I don't think anybody has done so many scans. It's an average one per day. that means he is not sleeping without discussing about GBP in some or the other way. That's how the commitment. That's the extreme commitment. But something like this 25 in a year, 354, something like that, we can have one extreme number, and lower side number, I wish to keep it as 10. So those who are not having ledger, 10 is the minimum. Those who have the ledger, 25 is the minimum. And those who are having ledger and with the higher subscription, 50 is the number. So this is how I keep it as minimum requirement. So that is why yesterday I had posted some names that they haven't done for quite a long time. So it is like a relationship. If you don't refurbish, if you don't regenerate, if you don't water it on a regular basis, it will die. It will die its natural death. So you spend so much money in learning this. I'm disappointed if you are giving up without even getting that money back or making some money worth to tell about this life experience. Personally, it will definitely make a significance, but socially, contribution will come only when you do some scans. Okay, so finding ikigai, we'll find a day and do it. That's not a problem. And 25, yes, something we will discuss. We'll first think about 24. The second day, second session is about my plans for 2023, and there is a 24 and there is a 25. So let us take 1 year at a time, set some conscious goals and the plans so that you continue to remember and then achieve it. And next year you are able to say that you did it, you did not do it, and rework again on setting a new goal based on the past experience or current enthusiasm that you have about it. Okay, I think that's good enough. Now I think one more. Let us go through it. Who is the other person? Yes, Harish, are you there?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Anil. Yeah, Harish is there. He has put that he has a question, but I'm not seeing him there. I think, okay. Okay. Next, I think Trichy Suresh had one question he had posted me, and let us hear from him, and then
Yes,
I want everybody to contribute answer to that. Yeah, please go ahead.
basically, if the prefrontal score is very low, left as well as right brain, and the sensory lobes are fairly good, if that is the case, we know that prefrontal is mainly for action, execution. So if execution is very low, what type of advice and counseling we should give to the parents as well as for the students so that they are improving? That is my question, sir.
Now you only tell me whatever you know. You tell me whatever you have not covered. I'll tell you.
See, basically, one aspect is I would ask the parent to guide to take some action, simple actions to start with, like taking simple decisions, and then build on it over a period of time, if particularly if the kid is very young, so that they will be able to make certain movements. Particularly, I would say that simple decisions is what I would start with, like day-to-day decisions, and then build on for short-term and long-term goals.
Okay. Yeah, anyone else would like to? First of all, I am not happy with your question because it has been very vague, according to me. Because you can't say prefrontal is weak. We should say which one is better than that. Because there is a left prefrontal, there is a right prefrontal, and there is a pattern and there's a personality. All of them will determine. You did not. You just gave one question, very vague, in my opinion. Anyhow, if you want to
Sir, if particularly we saw one particular case where the kid was having in the prefrontal D2 and D3 last week when we saw a thing, which means and the score was overall neuron score was also very less.
Okay, let me see anyone else has anything to say give an input. Adolphin seems to be unmuted. You want to say something?
Sir, so what is the age of the child? Can I know?
Age is around about 8 years.
8 years. So we can tell how to say. We can say we can nurture the child with how it will be good to execute something and get some results. We can show some examples to the child, if we execute a thing, only we will get the result by just hearing, but by just seeing things will not give results. But some short term what to give by making the child to do something and giving gifts, that success will give some uh, sense of joy to the child. So in that way we can nurture a child. That is one of my points.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Very nice to hear a newcomer wanting to just speak out. I think I appreciate your interest. Yes, Reena, please go ahead.
Yes, hello everybody. So my 1-2 bit input would be, first of all, prefrontals develop as they go along all the way up to 25, and at a young age of 8 they are mainly dependent on their sensory lobes and a lot on their frontal. So the child should, whichever sensory lobe is more dominant, or will help the child to move ahead at present, and the parents and teaching community should focus on using that for now. When the child is growing up or grown up and is more towards an adult age, when the prefrontals have developed to a better space, D2 and D3 can actually be trained into really working well with the help of and support of the other lobes, D2 being in a very good creative space. So I think these young years should be focused on where the child is showing his creativity and interest, and if that can be molded, then having lower levels in the prefrontal can be taken care of. But then yes, the decision making may be a little shaky. The child may be a little confused because these have a bit of a way of wavering. And that's where the parents will have to support and encourage and be there for the decision making. That's my 2 bits, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Reena. Happy to see both the double loops have, both of you are having double loops, so you understand it well. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so I would like to just say a few points and we can wind up because it's 4:50 already. So another 10 minutes time is there. As usual, I am not happy with the question, and I must appreciate both Adolphin and Reena having contributed to the answer. This is not the way to a question to be asked by a genetic brain profiling expert, because you must show a report. It is not prefrontal is less is a word which is a very clear cut communication. Information is not available. If a question is asked like this, we can give only a vague answers like how Adolphin and Reena gave, that be there and understand them, give some work and appreciate them. These are all general questions. I don't think it's a great way to do it, because if it is so simple, we don't need a report with so much of data there. every data that is there in the report has a very, very important contribution in the way that we are communicating to the child, about the child. But so I will reframe the question and probably answer, assuming that what are all the deviations that, or what are the conditions that we need to keep in mind when we talk about this D2 and D3. Just one information of D2, D3 is not good enough. Okay. And it is not that there is a problem we have to work on. Okay. That is also not a great way to approach a report. So I would say, though the D2, D3 are not very decisive there, indecisiveness is there. What the visual lobes are, what the temporal lobes are, what is the parietal lobes are, that is also very important. Okay, so when we say nurturing, we always see it as a problem. I think more than the problem, as I continue to believe, the ikigai is what has to come into your head. Okay, remember that ikigai. And I said the fourth one is performance. If you have, ultimately performance matters. Okay, and because of the performance, the whole holistic experience, the whole brain experience comes to the child or a person. That is what our goal. So the purpose of everybody is to go through the whole brain experience. And to achieve this whole brain experience, these four components are very important. And out of which passion, the potential, and the personality, the three P's are genetically we are all bestowed with. The performance is what we call the hard work and effort you put in and opportunities. Everything comes which shapes your performance as well. Okay, of course, it will personalities also will determine what kind of opportunities you grab. The passion will determine whether you're a left brain or a right brainer, and what type of intelligences, what kind of performances, competencies you are naturally having. And the potential determines what the quantum of your ability, how much energy you are having. We all know that there are 50 watts bulb, 500 watts bulb, and a 5000 watts bulb is there. We cannot put all bulbs in a one small 10 by 10 row. So you need to find out whether the potential is getting a right environment to shape, to bring out. And it is not that everybody has to achieve certain things only to achieve to feel that experience. For you, personalized whole brain experience is very, very important. So I will put it as, we have to decode the potential, number one, and give an environment. Suppose a child is process entry, why we have to feel sorry for them, bad about them? Not necessary. Because why everybody has to be having a strong prefrontal? That's society is now going through a lot of pains and suffering because of too low frontal lobe and too strong prefrontal lobe. I keep telling, thank God that you have got a child who is actually fit for the current scenario. This value is very, very important. If everybody says, I will not do this work, somebody has to say, okay, I'll take this work and do. It is not in life. Every work that we are doing, everything that is connected with our life is connected to the prefrontal. That's again a misnomer. I would like to see that every child who is imbalanced with the different lobes, but trying to balance in life so that they become the holistic whole brain experience. But I think, unfortunately, even with genetic brain profiling, many of us are conditioned or probably need a reconditioning that something is good and we have to push the child in the number one. First of all, that wanting to become number one is the biggest disease that we are having. Why? Why is that? Why can't we accept whatever comes, I'll be happy? Why that number one? This is the conditioning of the Western education where number ones are always preferred. So that is why even in MiDNA, I really not appreciating the performers beyond certain level. Okay, they inspire by naturally they are inspiring others. It is not that I have to tell look at Anil. I need not tell look at Anil and Bhopalan and Bona, because they are enjoying their work. They are doing what they can. Like that, everybody should enjoy, and numbers should not matter. In fact, my reverse loop always says you reward those who are not doing well, so that they are also putting some effort. So that is why I say the ABC score is a comprehensive assessment about the network. It is not that somebody is getting 10 scans in a day is glorified. No, I don't want. Because even in MiDNA, if you don't do that whole brain, holistic way of assessing a person, then it is, I think we are teaching something when practicing not that. That is why I continue to remind ABC, the attitude to learn, the commercials, the business that you are doing, and ultimately the competency. All three of them are three different dimensions of brain. And if you bring together, then the performance will come. And that's what I consider Ikigai in MiDNA. So unless otherwise you focus on your Ikigai in MiDNA, you cannot, whatever knowing about Ikigai is not really going to help much. And that's the maybe a very, I would say, very glamour word. Ikigai is a very glamorous word. I don't deny about it. But it is just talking about it, it is not good enough. You must practice. So everyone should just think about, am I going through my Ikigai? By knowing the potential, by knowing the passion, by knowing the personality, but putting them into use and performing to the best extent possible. That's a commitment. Okay, that's a commitment that has to come. The shape the environment if you are an environment dependent person. Make an environment if you are a more dominating person. You create an environment. If you are not a very dominating, the adaptiveness and the aggressiveness is not there much, then you look for an environment where this will fit well and you continue to grow with your tribe. I think everybody can contribute. I ultimately believe I am not doing this activity for money. So it is not that I'm never going to be, setting some targets and giving more incentives. I don't want to do. And that is the reason why I have moved to this ABC concept. Here, everybody will, somebody who is doing very small work, but they are continually participating in all the learning sessions, they will also get a reward. I don't want to just give for those who are performing, because performance is coming to some people very naturally. So competency, the performance, and the attitude. This is how the three components I want to recognize and do what best I can. I can motivate them indirectly so that they remain sustained. Motivation is there. Okay, that's the idea. So coming back to this question, it is not very simple. You can just give one answer. I need a UID. I need a data. And with this data, we have to find out whether the D3 is strong or any other lobe is strong, which are the lobes which are taking more energy. Remember one thing, if D2 and D3 is there, it is going to be less energy because of the oscillation. I have said it before, D2 or D3 in the left prefrontal definitely is a big roadblock for making sustainable action. Goal setting also will happen, but execution will not happen very sustainable, consistent way. It will not happen. That's a challenge. So when that is the case, you can't give too many generalized opinions and suggestions. We have to just keep pushing on the child slowly, and be a decision maker there, and convince the child that you are good in dreaming and knowing what you want, but you are not putting them into action. There would be a lot of inefficiency will be there. Friendliness may be more pushing type child it could be. So without knowing the other compartments, the child may be feeling very bad about when you make a comment or discouraging statement. The child may be kinesthetically very strong, which is not making the child to really go through the cognitive skills that the child is having. So all of them, all to be considered. And one thing I would say, because you said the D2, D3, definitely a lot of pushing will be needed. But without knowing what is the frontal lobe and the other lobes, we cannot make. But you said that the child's improvement of the prefrontal. Handling of the prefrontal D2, D3 is different from improving the performance of prefrontal. The statements are very vague. I think maybe this is not the session to talk such kind of things. I will appreciate if you come with a report and say I will ask questions related to this report, and thereby we test your understanding and you get more inputs about the report. That will be a great way to learn. This is available for everyone in the family. You can bring your child's report, your spouse report. You should explain here whatever you have understood. Then you ask me what is the challenges, what are the where and all things will be requiring more effort, and where what will come very naturally. That will be a collective inputs. That will be a great outcome as well, both for
Okay,
learning
sir.
purpose and for
Surely
the
I'll do it. Only thing is, last week during the 5:45 session, we saw this report,
now you tell
and
me you no
overall
no no I
neuron strength
understand.
was only 112 for the kid.
No,
That's why
that
I did.
enough. That data is not good enough, and you should have not taken this question itself. This is not the forum to just give one question, how to increase prefrontal lobe. I suggest if you have something, you bring that report. It must be your report. You don't talk somebody else's report because you may not have any inputs there. You have counseled or you will be counseling. If such kind of reports are there, you put that, you give your inputs. We will add on more inputs so that the learning happens to it. Like we have seen 4 small X's, 5 small X's, and all in some reports. But for in a common place of a 3 o'clock session or a 4 o'clock session, such kind of learning is not a good idea. Let the individual bring their own report and present what they have understood. We can add on more to it, and thereby everybody can have a little more information, like what we do on 5:45. Please don't confuse with 5:45 M session with 3 o'clock session. This is more general in nature. That is more specific in nature. So let us not mix that here. Competency is not supposed to be the direct idea here. It can be a byproduct of whatever we are discussing here. This session was actually meant for, I'll conduct one more session sooner. What are the questions that people ask you and you don't have a very good answer for it? Like astrology and kind of security and kind of what will happen if this is the case, then how to treat, and can we take some specially abled children, children's reports and kind of thing, is a very general questions that you go, people will ask. If anyone has it, we have answered a lot of them in the audio bite also. Something like that, if you come across, we can do. Even how to take this product to this kind of segment and why this is not working, all that also can be done. And just before I go, I would like to just appreciate today Sanmu Priya has done this program 10 o'clock, 10:30 to 11:30, 1 hour program on career choices, Zoom session, connected with some schools and requested them. So around 70 plus students participated. I think we have done so many sessions in the last few months on a Sunday, which is called, Thiranari Sudarvude Tamil program, a dual lingual program. And that's something she has done quite a good response. Whatever is the outcome, I don't worry about it, because what is that you have spent? You have improvised your presentation skills. I see it like that. Okay, and if you get something, happy. If you don't get something, that means you have to do it more and more. Okay, that is one way to do it. So I don't know how many of you are keeping such kind of mindsets and such kind of agenda in your goals. You must be giving presentations at least one in a month. That's my idea, my tip to do great contribution or a period of time. Set something, even if 5 people are sitting in the session, don't worry about it. Okay, continue to give one session and make a flyer, put it in the social media, put it in your WhatsApp status, share it with your friends. You share it in the MiDNA family also. I am just wondering why people prefer to share in the social media rather than sharing in the family. Is it not something you feel happy about doing? Is it something you are doing other than genetic brain profiling? No problems. But if you're doing something related to genetic brain profiling, you should proudly design a flyer and share it here. Let everybody wish you all a thing and say, let them share in their social media as well. I am here to promote you. That's my one question. One point I want to repeat. You just show the interest. You just take an initiative. I will do everything to promote you. I am going to bring some incentives also to promote your this thing in the social media also. We will help you, so that let us do collectively, sharing all the information. One day it will definitely do well, but without commitment, without an initiative, and the one signal I will count that you are interested is making a flyer. All those who are making flyers are doing something to, they're having the interest to promote. You can see Bhartika Sharma does it, and Pankaj does it. Anil also does it. I see nowadays Amrita also is doing. Many of you are maybe doing it, but I'm not knowing it. So I would put it as not done. So continue to make one flyer a month. You promote for the whole month. And then at the end of the day, whatever comes in, you spend your 1 hour time. That itself is a great work. It may not produce immediate results, but one day it will get noticed. And that's my belief system. That is how we have grown from one individual to 100 individuals as on today. So I see that's very important. Maybe we will have a little more discussion on how to present. Please don't approach schools if you are not done 100 scans. Let me put it this way. Don't approach high schools. So first 100 scans must come from common public, maybe primary schools and play schools. Okay, because high schools is a different ball game. You won't be able to do it just like that. And don't get frustrated and give up everything and say nobody is coming. Okay, so find out your strength, connect with something workable one, and where you can also handle them. I just want to remind you, to handle a school, you need to really grow up to a higher level. You must have a ledger. You must be you must have completed 100 scans and got the neuropsychologist or the mentor certification, and then you go ahead with schools. Till the time, focus as much as possible. I am not saying you don't go. You go to the parents of the schools, not to the school. I think don't talk to the principal and the management. You can talk to the parents. So take sessions like this and address to the parents and tell how many parents are interested in. Even if 5 parents are coming, it is good. I think Jayalakshmi is doing it on a very small scale. So there are some people who do it once in a while. They get some scans and it's coming. I think Kritika Namakal is also sometimes doing it. So continue to address to the parents. And for that, you need definitely a confident way of putting across. You can take the help of your mentor. I have repeatedly told mentors should take the sessions till you come to the ledger. Only mentors should speak. You should only be there, just adding on, following up, getting the clients, getting the audience, and subsequently following up with the crowd. You should provide the session. Your mentor should help. If you are good enough to handle yourself well, nothing like it. It's a great way. But I think without giving self-discovery too, you should not try it. And with self-discovery too also, go to play schools and parents and take up schools only later. I see many of you are going to schools and trying something. You are falling on your face very badly and you are only giving up, discouraged. So you have to go to school, but not as an initial. You go to the first class, no. First standard, second, like that you go standard wise. Any school you go, you don't go directly to the higher secondary school. So please use the same logic here and continue to grow, which is very important for you to remain energized and sustainable one. And also, I don't know, is that I am very threatening kind of a person, very scaring person, I don't know. Please continue to posting a WhatsApp message is never a crime. Please remember that. Okay, so only calling sometimes could be disturbing me. Maybe you can think about it. But posting a WhatsApp message, within few minutes you will get some answer. So keep communicating, share your flyers. I want to see this one thing in 2023 is everybody who is attending sessions like this, 25, 26 are there, assuming that 25 people are there. 25 flyers in a month is a great number. Then all people can cross promote each other, and together we can grow much better than sitting remotely and asking. When I went to a school, sir, but the principal was not giving appointment, and then used to remain there. It's not a great idea. So let us do that and commit that you will do one flyer, whatever is the flyer. Okay, you take a template of somebody else flyer and put your name, and even that is good. Okay, so we are giving you flyers. You can put your names and you can share it. Continue to share. I think Suresh Babu is doing a regular daily promotions he's doing. So go to his social media and tag your name and repost that message. Like that, you can continue to create some awareness and some significant I would say activities that are little bit significant for you. Everybody has the capability. We will talk about why some people do very well with MiDNA and why some people are struggling. The brain design has a reason that there is no denial about. But do you want to succumb to that, or you want to fight and prove that even with this I can do this level? That's the challenge I want all of you to take. Okay, there is no brain which is totally very comfortable with all aspects of ABC, but something will be very comfortable, something will be reasonably comfortable. You can work on yourself. One day you will really feel very good about having sustained the challenges, that phase of coming down, not able to grow. It will take some time, and I am happy that it is taking time. That means all those who can sustain that testing times will come out flying colors. That's the what we people call it as butterfly. Okay, now you are in the cocoon. Okay, transformation is happening. Don't die now itself. Continue to sustain, and when you become a butterfly, life will be totally a different dimension altogether. That would be my concluding statement. So I thank once again for all those who felt that maybe something to learn will be there. Please continue to retain this attitude. I am giving you opportunity to attend 5:45 session, and we are also going to have 11:30, 10:30 session in the morning, and also weekends, evening sessions. We will give you all opportunities, but if you don't find time to come any session, that's just another disappointment for you also, for me also. But doesn't matter. When you are destined to grow, you will come and look for ways to grow. Otherwise, my only goal is, whether you are attending or not attending, enjoy whatever process activity that you are doing. That's ultimately matters. That is why I continue to remind, live life out of choices. I will continue to give more and more choices. I will not compel anyone. And let us see how, as a culture, as a team, as a network, as a family, we are able to experience a lot of joyful moments in life rather than suffering and painful situations. So I thank everyone for coming here, and a special thanks to those who are coming to Coimbatore also. Those who are not able to come, discuss with me. We will find a way to come again, meet. I'll come to your city if you can organize a meeting. It is not a difficulty that everybody must come to Coimbatore only. That is an annual function. But I'm willing to travel to Bangalore, Chennai, and Delhi once in a year for some get together. If all of you can make a crowd and tell me, we can definitely have a localized family get togethers as well. That's my promise. So we'll take a break at this point of time and meet on some other day with some other questions and some other ways to learn and refurbish our neural network as well. So thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.